My question would be, this is just a jump-off point for a question that you asked. You were saying that you want people to understand the customer. So in other words, those who've resigned or been put on leave potentially didn't understand what the customer's needs or wants were?
Not necessarily. Again, we've got a change in the form of government. That's number one. And we've had folks in our city government for a long time who are accustomed to reporting to an appointed city manager who then reported to 9 elected council people. And now we've had a fundamental change to a form of government where we have an elected mayor who's also general manager, whatever you want to call this position I'm in. That in and of itself, I think, drives some decision making. People of goodwill can differ on the direction an organization should go. I do bring a different perspective. I do come from the private sector. I have no government experience. We all know that. And I'm all about problem solving. All I want to do is move forward and in concrete ways to make sure our city government is fiscally sustainable, that we do our best to stimulate job creation in our community, and that we empower our employees, and that we retain the best people. So just changing the form of government, I think, is a factor in some decisions that have been made by some people to leave. I'm sure I'm a factor. I'm too tall, we know that, but hopefully that's not the reason. But that's a factor. We've got several people who are at the end of their careers. Catherine Young, Pat Kelly, Ann Crossy. All highly dedicated, competent people who decide to hang it up and hit the beach. I hope to get there myself one of these days. But then there are others, and I will say this candidly, there are others in any organization where a new CEO comes in who just can't buy into that CEO's direction. I understand that. And in a couple of cases, I'm not going to be specific because I don't think it's fair to them to do that. After a lot of conversation, pretty much an agreement between in that case, that person and myself, that we just are not in alignment about some things. I want to outsource where we can. I want our city government to do the things that are essential, that are the highest priority. Police protection. You're not going to see me outsourcing the police department anytime soon, or anytime later, as a matter of fact. I mean, I think that's clear. But we do need to try new things. We must rethink everything we're doing, Eric. We don't have a choice. We're headed toward insolvency unless we can get the revenue up through growing the economy, but also by bending the cost curve, but also retaining the best people, and those are difficult to do all at the same time. So, given that, and given my, I guess, belief that we must change, that we must innovate, that we have to question everything we're doing. I ask that we outsource on a test basis snow plowing. That's hard to consider if you've been doing snow plowing one way for 30 years, and there are risks associated with it if the contractor messes up. And I understand mayors have been recalled over that, which is just part of life. So I don't think it's anything more than that. I'd like to get all this behind us as much as everyone else would. I'd like to have a civilian workforce that is stable, where people are not anxious, worried about their positions. I think we got that in public safety. I think if you talk to police officers or the firefighters, they'll tell you they feel comfortable that we have a stabilized situation there. And I want to drive toward that as quickly as we can on the civilian side, and I think we're getting there.
You were talking about fiscal